I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Hostin's obsession with race gets...
She's built her brand by calling America racist, preaching about inherited guilt, and demanding apologies from people for sins they never committed. But when the family history spotlight turns on Sunny Hostin, the moral high ground suddenly gets a little shaky. In a recent PBS special, it was revealed that her third great-grandfather owned a slave. And just like that, the champion of generational accountability is caught in the very web she's spun for others. As the credits roll, Greg Gutfeld doesn't need a monologue. One raised eyebrow says it, all cutting through the hypocrisy with surgical precision. Before we dive into what this all means, drop a comment, letting us know where you're watching from. And if you're fed up with media elites preaching virtue while dodging their own standards, hit that subscribe button. This isn't just irony, it's a full-scale credibility meltdown. Sunny.
Hostin's obsession with race gets thrown back in her face. Today's video comes to us from Sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry.
Oh. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs of others.
Fact of life. Interesting change of tune. For more, we go to our chief Sunny Hostin correspondent for a reaction.
Hostin appeared on Finding Your Roots, the show where celebrities uncover their ancestry, usually with teary monologues and soft piano playing in the background. But not Sunny, when she finds out her own family once owned slaves. There's no visible shock, no emotional reckoning, just a shrug and a tight smile. To her, it's suddenly just history. Greg Gutfeld didn't need to shout. On the 5, he said, what millions were thinking. This is the same woman who spent years condemning others for historical injustices. Now that the injustice is in her own bloodline, suddenly it's nuanced. Now it's complicated. For years, she's demanded that America confront its past. But when her own past shows up in crystal clear HD, the righteous outrage disappears, replaced by casual deflection and brunch level small talk.
I just want to go on the record to let everyone know that I am very much against slavery.
Okay, good.
Very brave to say that on this panel. Karma, definitely. I mean, it's one thing. It's going to be so awkward on new episodes of The View when she tries to pull the race card.
Yes.
And then she's like, America is racist, and then they're like, yeah, they might be racist, but they're not like slave owner racist. like somebody that we.
That's so true.
She could have maybe done better. Okay, here's the thing. One thing, and I would have even actually not give her any is she said, well, I guess that's just what they did back then.
Yeah.
She should have followed that up with saying something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this before. That was to me, the one thing that was missing.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's okay, now that you have this information, have you had any personal growth? Do you think about things differently? You have to acknowledge that. Yeah. Because when you're presented with information, it's okay to change your mind. It's good to change your mind. But you should acknowledge that has happened.
If she is shaming descendants of this, will she continue to do that when she is now one of them, Dana? And it is funny. She's so wrapped up in identity, and she had no idea who she was.
Well, now we understand why she always makes Whoopi get the coffee. I don't know. That's not true.
That's not true.
But you think about things that she said and how offensive they are.
Yeah.
Well, karma.
Yeah.
Gutfeld cuts straight to the core. I just want to bravely say, I'm against slavery. The panel cracks up, but behind the laugh is a blade. Because Sunny Hostin isn't just any pundit. She's built a brand on guilt politics, dividing people into oppressors and oppressed based purely on ancestry, targeting white Americans. She's called for apologies, reparations, and generational accountability. But when the camera turns and she learns her own family owned slaves, the fire disappears. No apology. No introspection. Just a shrug. The same woman who lectures strangers about privilege suddenly refuses to apply that lens to herself. Gutfeld doesn't even need to press. He just holds up the mirror. And for once, the view, normally a battlefield of comebacks, is silent. Not a word. Until Dana Perino breaks it. If she's been shaming descendants of slaveholders, does that include herself now? Boom. That's not a dunk. That's a reckoning.
She is shaming descendants of this. Will she continue to do that when she is now one of them?
And then, it hits the internet like a comet. Clips flood. TikTok Reels light up Instagram. Threads go viral. And YouTube Shorts zoom in on stunned faces. Castic captions roll. Meme edits drop the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme over the moment of truth. One line loops again and again. I thought I was just Puerto Rican. No dramatic music needed. Reality did the work. One viral post nails it. Sunny Hostin just found out her ancestors owned slaves, and her reaction was basically, "That's life, girl." Another hits harder. You can't lecture America on generational guilt, and then shrug when it hits your own bloodline. That's not growth. That's dodgeball. But the line that breaks the internet. Greg Gutfeld's signature strike, they might be racist, ... but not slave owner racist. Instant meme, gold cut into reaction clips, GIFs, and parodies. And not just from conservatives. Even moderates join in, because this moment isn't about ancestry, it's about double standards. Let's be clear. No one's mad that Sunny Hostin has a complicated family history. That's not a scandal. That's history. What set the backlash on fire was the dodge, the sudden drop in moral volume, the selective application of principles she's long insisted are universal. For years, she's told others to sit with discomfort, to reckon with ancestral sins, to confess inherited privilege. But when her own reckoning arrives, just how people made a living. Sorry, Sunny, that might work at a cocktail party, but not in the public square you helped build.